So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our favorite, Mr. India, Mr. Anil Kapoor. If you could just address the crowd as well.
Well, good afternoon, all of you all, and welcome to India, Becky. It's such a pleasure and honor to have you over here. And of course, I'm here as a family member. Uh, uh, Both the Lula daughters over here and Eros I've been attached to Eros as a family member since many, many years. I think, more than 35 years has been my association, and I've been of course, as you know, that the world admires Microsoft. The world admires Bill Gates and the family and all of you all. And of course, I've heard so much about you, Peggy. And we have something common that we both love running. So that's going to be fantastic. And welcome all of you all. And thank you so much for coming. And without wasting any time, I would like to ask a few questions to both of you all. And whom do I start with? Huh?
Well, before we hop onto the fireside, I
Yeah.
think just because we have all the dignitaries with us, let's go ahead and have a picture of
Oh,
all of
picture.
you together.
Picture's always there. Yeah? Okay. Yes, of course. Please come. No, you be in the middle, Peggy. Yes. Yes. Yeah, we can go in the front. Yes. Thank you so much. So I'm supposed to ask. Let me ask Rishika first, right? She's the youngest among all of us. So
Yes, by
Rishika.
far.
Yeah. So future
You're
is.
youngest at heart, though.
So Rishika, I want to ask you, in this business of digital entertainment, tell us about your journey with Eros. But obviously, I know you as a kid. You were born in front of me, and I've seen you grow up, and I came for your wedding also, right? Absolutely, yes, yeah. So it's been in the last 5 years since inception, and how technology has played a key role in driving the growth of Eros, and what has been your experience, if you can tell us, yeah.
Of course. The journey of Eros now has been really, really interesting. It actually came up as an idea on holiday when you're vacationing and clear-headed. That's when I think the best ideas come. I've always been an early adopter of technology. I've always been subscribed to multitudes of services. I remember the first MP3 player I had was a Nomad. They were kind of Discman-size, huge things. And I realized that a lot of these streaming now giants had actually started on the back of strong content. And at that point, there was this realization that, hey, Eros has the world's biggest Indian language library. We say we are technologically advanced. We embrace technology and leadership technology as part of our DNA when it comes to content distribution. That online distribution seemed like the best way forward and very much a natural extension of our leadership DNA within the space. But beyond a natural extension of distribution, what was really important to us was actually to start building a B2C brand versus a brand that is just there every time a film comes out. So how do you create a daily touch point with your fans and your consumers? That's only possible when you're able to build a strong platform that is incredibly personal, that houses all of the content in one place. So that was essentially the vision and how it was born. In terms of the journey, it was exciting, really exciting, I think, from creating the brand to actually creating our tech teams based in San Francisco and Bangalore and Bombay. It was something we built ground up. So very much I feel like Eros now is my baby.
Great. Peggy, can I ask you a question, please?
Yes.
Sure. Okay, cool. Uh, can you tell us about your role in Microsoft?
Right. So I run business development at Microsoft, and you can think of it as the development of businesses, essentially growth for Microsoft. And we do that in three ways. We do it through strategic partnerships like the one we have with Eros. We do it with investments and through acquisitions. And each one of those are meant to be sort of a way to grow inorganically, to sort of bend the curve of our individual units and bring something from the outside in to be a catalyst for growth. And so we look across all three levers, and we pull whichever one is most appropriate at the time. Largely, it's around strategic partnerships. And since Satya came in, we've had a real focus on that area, partnerships, and even partnering with some kind of surprising companies. Look like we might be a little competitive in some areas, but we usually find ways to cooperate and find synergies and growth for both of us.
And I've heard you're an introvert.
I am an introvert.
Okay. So how does that influence your leadership style? Because usually leaders are supposed to be very, flamboyant, extrovert, and you're an introvert. So how do you?
Yeah, it's not. Frankly, when I started my career many years ago, I was always asked to be more extroverted, to speak up more, to be more aggressive at work. I'm an electrical engineer, and it was largely my company was. I was generally the only woman in the room, and so I was in an environment I wasn't comfortable with anyway. And but eventually, I realized that being an introvert is actually a plus. You're generally a listener if you're not talking, and that has helped me do my job better. I feel like if I had a superpower, it would be listening. I listen to the customer, really understand what they need, and then help them realize their vision. So it can be a plus, and the world is full of extroverts and introverts. I think we need both of them.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, as soon as I met you, I started speaking, and you were listening.
I'm a listener.
We were talking about running, so and as I have, for me also, it's been a passion for many years. So, when did you start running?
I started running in college, just 2 years ago. No, many years ago in college, and now I've somewhere along the line I ran further and further distances, and now I like to run marathons, and so I'm working my way through the world major marathons.
Oh, cool! That's really cool. Yeah. Rishika, now the question is to you. How do you think the entertainment fraternity adopting to the new form of change in consumption?
I would actually like to turn that back round to you.
Oh.
Good move.
Sorry, so technically, does that mean that for example, you just announced a partnership with Reliance a couple of months ago. So does that mean that then Reliance can also access your media services technology under that partnership? I mean, so once they sign on to Azure, does that mean that they're sort of eligible to then access all of Azure's?
Well, think of us as a platform, and anybody who builds on Azure can work with any of the services that we're launching. Yeah, broadly.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your questions.
One more.
Well, we can take it offline for sure. Thank you. All right, thank you so much, Ms. Rishika Lula Singh, Ms. Peggy Johnson, and Mr. Anil Kapoor for gracing us with your presence today. And before we go ahead, I would definitely request the electronic media to please come forward. A big thank you to each one of you for joining us for today's event. Sincere request to all the media personnel that the release shared with you is embargoed till 3 p.m. Kindly use the information accordingly. Thank you so much, everyone.
Why don't you come this side also? Yeah. Please. This side.
New scan.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
We're super excited to be collaborating with Microsoft to create a truly unique and personalized, customizable product. What's great about working with Microsoft, besides the collaborative nature, is the sheer sophistication of technology and product that enables Eros now to be one of the most sophisticated localized platforms in the world.
Well, we're thrilled to be partnering with Eros because they're the leader in their space, and I think between our technology and their creativity, we're going to change we have the opportunity to change the entertainment viewing industry.
Thank you.
अंश आप एक बात बन चुके हैं मुझसे बोल सकते हैं बीच में क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
Well, I'm been an admirer and fan of course, Bill Gates and Microsoft. And today I had an honor to meet Peggy, who the world, has honored her, and I've read so much about her. And today I had an opportunity to meet her. And of course, I've been part of the Eros family since so many years. I've been working with Kishore since more than from the time I started my career. My films have been most of my films, and even the films which I produced, are in the library of Eros now. And hopefully, they'll now be with this collaboration. They'll be seen in all the languages.
Rishika, just a question. When you speak about languages, is it that the content will actually undergo a translation on the language that we want to hear? We can probably hear it. Am I getting it right, or is it something else that the technology will?
It's something technology will do. So there's no kind of reshoot, there's no dub. It's automatically done on the fly, but using the intelligence of the artist's own kind of diction and natural way of speaking. So it's something that a consumer wouldn't even be able to tell.
Okay, so if I'm getting it right,
Sorry. I think we could take that.
my queries.
There's some queries left.
Yeah, one more question. Just one.
No, I just wanted to understand the technology. So if I'm understanding it correctly, if there is content that is available in Hindi, if I want to listen to it in English or Malayalam, that is the regional language, will this technology translate it accordingly? Is that what the technology does?
It will enable you to consume the content in a language in which you are most comfortable.
Thank you. That is exactly what I wanted.
Thank you. Thank you.
Zoya फैक्ट्री का रिलीज हो रही है, क्या कहते हैं उसके लिए?
Sorry?
सोना मैम की जोया फैक्ट्री का रिलीज हो रही है, तो क्या कहते हैं?
It's releasing tomorrow, yeah. So, after how many months they can see it in other languages? Yes. So, my daughter's film is releasing tomorrow.
Oh,
It's called the
congratulations.
Zoya Film. Please,
I'll have to
all of you watch it. Please watch it. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Just go ahead.
Oh, I get the one that side.
Mobile.
But it will come this side also.
Yeah.
Please, all of this side.
New skin.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, where are we going?